Ms. Marvel's mind-blowing finale, our first look at MCU's Doctor Doom, and the leaked trailer for Mandalorian Season 3. We're talking all this and more on this week's show. I'm your host, Nick.
And I'm Anthony.
And welcome to That Superhero Thing podcast. If I start by warning everybody that we've got Ms. Marvel spoilers from the beginning, can I start spoiling Ms. Marvel? From now?
Yeah.
Brilliant. I've been waiting to do that all day. All day. You did it as soon as you came in the house.
I know, yeah.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. There is so much to talk about in Ms. Marvel. We were impressed by it this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited to talk about Ms. Marvel.
I actually loved it.
I actually want another episode now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm into it now.
Yeah.
It's only taken 6 episodes for me to get there, but I'm into it.
No.
Far too long. We will get there. We've got loads to talk about this week. As always, before we get into our Ms. Marvel review, we're going to break down all the week's biggest news stories. We've got loads to talk about. We've got Ryan Gosling wanting to join the MCU. We've got Ironheart casting edition. We've got first look at Ironheart, Doctor Doom, San Diego Comic-Con rumours, and new trailers as well.
Yeah.
3 trailers to talk about.
Yeah.
One of them's not really superhero related.
No.
But it's my podcast, so we can talk about it. And it's yours as well, Anthony. Also, we're going to be listening to all your thoughts and theories at the end of the show in Podfans Assemble. We've got timestamps in the description for you in case you want to skip ahead to the review or to Podfans Assemble. And don't forget, if you enjoy the show, please make sure to follow it on your favourite podcast platform and leave us a rating and review. The more subs, followers and reviews we get, the more people will find the show and can listen to it.
Yep.
First, before we get into proper news, this is proper news, but we've got show news. We've got some news for the show, haven't we? So, first bit, if you don't want to listen to the show news, you can skip ahead. The timestamps are in the description. There's no new episode.
But how dare you if you do?
How dare you? Give us a minute. Give us a bit of time. No new episode next week because Anthony's busy. What are you doing next week, Anthony?
I am officially moving house.
Anthony is moving into a new house. I'm excited because I've got my own podcast studio. I've claimed a room. But yeah, so no episode next week.
No.
But there will be Patreon episodes
next
week. We'll be releasing them. So yeah, you got that. And we did 2 episodes last week. We did Thor and the last episode of Ms. Marvel. So we got that.
Yeah.
Following week, we will be back and we are starting our new event. We've not done an event for a while.
No, we haven't.
We are doing a She-Hulk countdown.
Yes.
I feel like I should have got ready with what date She-Hulk starts, but it's in 3 or 4 weeks. You guys know. If you're fans, you know it.
Yeah.
On the countdown then to the build-up of She-Hulk, we are going to be doing the live-action Hulk movies to build us up. Starting with, oh my God, the 1977 Bill Bixby and Lou Ferrigno Incredible Hulk. It's not technically a movie, it's a series, but each episode's an hour and a half. So we just thought we'd do the first episode as a probable bad movie review.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be a bad movie review. Let's be honest. And then after that, we'll be doing the Eric Bana Hulk.
Yeah.
It's just as bad. And then we'll be doing Incredible Hulk with Ed Norton, which I know people have got mixed feelings about.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. But
I can't remember it that well, if I'm totally honest. So I just need refreshing.
You can watch it. And then the week after that, however many weeks that is, the week after that is She-Hulk. So we'll be on to that. One more bit of news about the show. We're being featured in an article on the website.
We are.
Isn't that important sounding? Kind of. Ish. It is for us.
It's nice.
So as of tomorrow or today, Friday, when you're listening to this, there's an article about us at filmstories.co.uk. I've not read it yet because it's not out, but it could just rip us to pieces. It probably does. But you can go and read it, filmstories.co.uk. We'll read it as well. And then if it's there, it means it must be all right because we haven't asked for it to be taken down. Anyway, should we do comic book movie news?
Yes.
Right, so starting off, Ryan Gosling wants to join the MCU. Kinda. So there was a rumor a few weeks ago. Well, it is kind of. There was a rumor a few weeks ago that he was being considered for the role of Nova in the rumored Nova project that's coming up. But in an interview with MTV for his new movie, The Grey Man, which hasn't had good reviews so far, it's 50% on Rotten Tomatoes, he said that the rumors aren't true, but he would like to play Ghost Rider in the MCU.
Okay.
So that's all right.
Interesting.
Exactly. There have been talks previously that he's met with Kevin Feige, so it could happen. I always think if they're talking about it before it's been officially announced by Marvel, though, like we said about Taron Egerton last week, it's probably not happening.
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you think it would happen? Would you like him as Ryan Gosling?
I'd love Ryan Gosling in the MCU.
Do you want him as Ghost Rider?
I don't know.
I mean, if he's Ghost Rider, it means Nick Cage can't come back as Ghost Rider.
Shut your mouth. That's not okay.
He's a good second choice, but I'd rather have Nick Cage.
No.
Yeah.
So, my problem with Ryan Gosling is every time I've seen him in anything, he's been fairly laid back characters. He's not been big personality in your face.
No,
if you
even
get what
when
I
he's
mean.
not laid back characters, because I've not seen Drive, but I believe he's a bit of a nutter in Drive. But he's not like a laid back character. But I still get the impression he's quite calm.
Yeah.
Calm, scary bad guy rather than lunatic. But yeah, I've not seen him play.
So, yeah, and that's the thing for me. That'd be a big. But then again, you know, if it's something he's wanted to play for a while, then you tend to have good results. If you look at, again, you know, we mentioned it before, but Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
With some of you.
I was going to say The Rock, but we don't know if that's any good yet. But yeah. You'd think if they really want to play it, you'd think they'd sort of, you know, do a good job of it. I don't know. I would like to see him in it, but I'm still not convinced on. I'm not convinced on Ghost Rider either. Not just because I want Nick Cage back.
Here's one then.
I just don't know whether he can do it.
Ryan Gosling as Mr. Fantastic.
No, don't like it.
Do you not like that?
No, don't like that.
Don't
do
you?
You?
Yeah, I think he could do it.
Do you think,
the main thing you've been saying is about the age thing. Ryan Gosling's a little bit younger.
I'd rather have him as Doctor Doom.
Would you?
Yeah, we'll talk about Doctor Doom in a minute.
Again, villain-wise, I've never seen him be that bad.
I don't know.
So I don't know how that'd go down.
I've never actually seen Ryan Gosling in anything where I've thought, wow, that was amazing.
Have you seen it when he doesn't want breakfast?
Yeah, the cereal. Trying to feed Ryan Gosling cereal.
Literally, my favourite thing.
Wafted it out of his face.
It's so good.
Annie, that took a weird turn, but
Sorry.
I'm completely alright with it. From someone who wants to join the MCU then to someone who has joined the MCU, Deadline's reporting that Solo star Alden Ehrenreich, I think I've pronounced that right, has signed on to star alongside Dominique Thorne, in the new Ironheart series. So there's no news who he's going to be playing, but they are saying that it's going to be a key role. I know people don't like Solo. I thought he was good in Solo. I know it's good as fault, it's the film.
Yeah.
I liked it, but I think he was probably the best part of it. I think he was decent in it. Do you not think he's a good actor? Yeah,
I don't doubt his acting.
He just looked at me like as if to be like, oh. It's like I just said Nick Cage was going to be in Ironheart. That pure look of disgust. Do you feel, I know it's obviously not been announced who he is. I feel like villain. I'm in like a villain mood, clearly.
Yeah,
I can see him as like a villain, like a Justin Hammer type.
What you can't see
villain.
is that Nick is currently dressed as Maleficent.
Annie, you've ruined the illusion. I would next week. And none of you'll know. What do you think? Good choice? Happy to have him in the MCU? Indifferent?
I mean, it's all I've seen him in, I think.
What, Solo? I can't think of him in anything else, no.
So I like the fact that there's a mix of, you know, if that's all he's done, it's bringing in generally a fairly newbie to the scene rather than it all being about big names all the time.
Yeah, I think he's done obviously, I'm sure it's not the only acting credit he's got to his name, but I don't think he's done anything massive that I'm aware of other than Solo.
Tell us if we're wrong.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they will. Speaking of Ironheart, we got our first look at Dominique Thorne's Riri Williams suited up as Ironheart in Black Panther 2 this week. It's only a picture of a t-shirt, so the quality's not great. But I sent it to you the other day, didn't I?
Yeah.
It looks like it's going to be a Mark 1 design rather than a final suit, I would guess. I like it, but it's more of like an exoskeleton suit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Rather than like a full suit of armor. There's people saying online that the chest artif looks identical to Tony's in Endgame. It's like the heart-shaped one.
Oh, okay.
So maybe she has literally got bits of Tony's tech and sort of put something together. I like the look though. I think it's good that they've gone different from Tony's Mark 1 because that was like a full suit of armor.
Yeah.
And then in this, clearly they're going down the exoskeleton sort of thing. With the way all the costumes have been going in the MCU in season 4, phase 4. It's season 4, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
I'm expecting something really, not kiddie in a bad way, but really comic booky.
Yeah.
It's like Tony's Mark 1, it was like trying to keep it grounded. And I know he ended up in a red and gold suit, but it was like trying to make it as realistic as possible. Yeah. And I think now the way that they're heading with the MCU in general, and the fact that she's probably going to put this thing together in Wakanda, they can go mental with it. Yeah. They can do absolutely whatever they want.
Do you reckon the Wakandans have that piece of his suit
Potentially.
from when he died, and then whatever goes on, they say to her, "We'll make you the suit," and then they put that on as like a.
Quite interesting to find how they got it.
Yeah.
If it is actually that piece, it looks very similar.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Do you know, I've always thought about that. Who did the cleanup?
Don't know. Damage control.
Do you reckon?
Yeah. That's not me even making a joke. I think it is, and we'll talk about damage control when we get to Ms. Marvel and the weapons and stuff like that. But yeah, I would imagine damage control probably went around. And Shield, not Shield, because it's not there anymore. Sword.
Yeah.
Yeah, just picking up bits and just developing Earth's tech based on alien tech. Yeah. That's it, innit?
Like little scroungers.
Exactly. So we got the first look at Ironheart. It's not the only first look we got this week. As we mentioned, we have got an apparent look at Doctor Doom concept art that's made its way online via Reddit. I was dead excited when I clicked the link that said first look at Doctor Doom, and it looks good, but it's just a picture of Doctor Doom. Yeah. It doesn't give anything away.
You literally sent it to me, and I was like,
I need context.
Why are you showing me this? I need context. Like, what specifically am I looking at in this picture?
It looks good. Would you be happy with that look for the movie?
Yeah, but it's what the last guy wore in the first Fantastic Four
The
film.
Ewan Griffith one and Chris Evans one, not the other one where he looked like melty.
He was Cole in Charmed, and I can't remember the actor's name.
No, I can't. He was in Nip Tuck, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I can't remember what his name was.
But
he's not been in anything since Fantastic Four, so clearly killed his career. But it looks like that.
It looks very, very similar to me.
But they don't. That's the thing. It's the comic book look that we've just mentioned.
Yeah, I've got no problem if it is similar. I've got no problem with it whatsoever. But
it's
if someone's like concept
look,
art, I think it's going to be something new and fresh, and it wasn't new and fresh.
I think it's more like storyboarding rather than concept art, if you get what I mean. There's somebody else in the picture, but I've got no idea.
We've been trying to guess, haven't we?
We have. The rumour is that it's a piece of storyboarding for Wakanda Forever, and that he might pop up at the end of the movie, which would be a decent way of introducing him. Yeah. Because I think if you just bring him in at the same time as the Fantastic Four, it's perhaps going to be too
How
much
cool would
like
it be to introduce
Fantastic
a
Four.
villain before you actually introduce the heroes?
Yeah,
I think that'd be quite cool.
I think it'd be a good way of doing it, yeah.
Bit of a different
have him sort of there over the course of a couple of films, just in the background.
He's established before the actual heroes. I'd quite like that.
Yeah, I think that'd be a decent way of doing it. Yeah, but yeah, we don't know. Hopefully, we will find out more in what, a week. Week and a bit. Yeah. San Diego. I keep saying San Diego. I don't know why I'm saying San Diego. I did it at the right time, man. San Diego Comic Con. So, speaking of Comic Con, it is only a week away. Yeah. We found some rumours online today. And again, these are off Reddit. I don't know how real these are going to be. They're probably not going to be, but
let's talk about them.
It's fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, someone on Reddit has got some news about, I can't even try and say it, SDCC, because I'm not going to cock that up again, and D23 announcements and the future of the MCU. Should we just rattle them off? So, rumour number one is that at Comic Con they will be covering Deadpool. Ryan Reynolds is apparently going to be there. How does he know who's going to be there? But yeah, okay. And he's going to announce the next Deadpool movie, which is not going to be titled Deadpool 3. It's going to be a Deadpool Kills. It's going to be like Deadpool Kills.
Yeah.
The best one would be Deadpool Kills the Fox universe. And just let's just go.
That would be awesome.
That would be absolutely
just
brilliant.
wreaks havoc and
just
blows
kill
shit
all the
up.
Fox characters.
Yeah, amazing.
I'd love that. Black Panther, not the Black Panther, he's not going to be there. But yeah, Black Panther, the cast are going to be there, and apparently they're going to bring the first trailer for Wakanda Forever. Again, we said that the other day though, didn't we? Or a couple of weeks ago. It's 5 months away.
Yeah, it's not long.
Not long at all. I can't do math. Clearly can't get from July. Do you remember last week? But yeah, it's something like 4 or 5 months away. Yeah, we're due a trailer. Yeah. So I wouldn't be... do you know what? I'd be surprised if we don't get a Wakanda Forever trailer at Comic-Con. Secret Invasion, there's not going to be anyone in attendance, but they will reveal the main cast and we'll see our first bit of footage.
That'd be quite cool.
Again, I could see that because that's not far away.
Yeah.
Blade, so the cast will be there and with basically some news about the movie, probably release date, when all that sort of stuff. And the big piece of news apparently is that Anthony Starr will play Dracula. Which, all right, okay.
I don't know if it's true,
on this one?
But I'm quite excited if that's the case.
I'd be excited to get Anthony Starr in the MCU. Massively excited to get him in the MCU. We talked about this last week.
Are you a bit gutted about it being Dracula?
Yeah, because it's going to be a one move and he's done. It's going to be one and done, innit? If it's Dracula. I think if he's any villain, it's a risk of... Unless it's the sort of villain who can turn good, like Bucky or something like that. But it's not going to be. If it's someone like Dracula,
Imagine we've got Dracula in our gang.
that's him. That's him, one and done. And I suppose it'd make sense because he's probably got another 2 series of The Boys to do. So it's just getting him into it and then getting him out. But no, it's great having him in it, but I want him to be a bigger part.
Yeah.
Either Wolverine, like we talked about last week, or just jumped into my head, Mephisto. Anthony Starr as Mephisto.
That would be
amazing, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
He'd play that shot. I mean, I didn't even really know that much about Mephisto, but just Anthony Starr as Mephisto. Yeah. That's a good idea by me, innit?
Do you know who I'd really love as Mephisto?
Who?
And I go through phases of who I think would play it really well.
Yeah.
I kind of want Ron Perlman.
Yeah, I could kind of see that.
Couldn't
It's too
you, though?
Hellboy-y.
But-
Hellboyish.
But I also don't, because of his age,
Yeah.
I don't know whether it's a bit much.
Have you seen the concept art from Thor of Russell Crowe?
No.
So when they originally, I assume Russell Crowe was sort of like on the list of people who were going to be in this movie a long time ago in like early development.
Yeah.
But apparently they weren't going to go to help. They weren't going to go to Zeus for help. They were going to go to the devil, aka Mephisto, and Russell Crowe was going to be the devil.
Oh.
Yeah, and there's concept art of him as the devil. It just looks like Zeus with horns and he's red. I'll be really honest. That's pretty much what he looks like.
Oh, okay.
But I'm glad they didn't go down that route, because if we're going to get Mephisto, it feels like he needs to be a big character rather than silly, stupid Zeus, which we did talk about. We liked it, but yeah, if you want to hear the full one, go and listen to the Thor review. We had a lot to say about, a lot of impressions and lots of things to say about Zeus. The Marvels, that's going to be covered at Comic-Con. There will be, again, the cast will be there. The rumour is that Anson Mount is going to reprise his role as Black Bolt.
Yeah.
For the Marvels. Jodie Turner-Smith. I don't know who Jodie Turner-Smith is.
No, I don't.
I know the name. She's going to be Medusa in the post-credits of the movie, setting up Universal Inhumans as a big cosmic story going forwards. I know we've potentially just spoiled the post-credit scene, but let's be honest, it's not going to happen, is it? Who's Jodie Turner-Smith? She was in Anne Boleyn. Is that a Disney? Is that a BBC series?
Disney.
Could be.
Off with her head.
Disney own everything. Disney own everything. I recognise her, but I don't know her.
So Anne Boleyn was a BBC series.
Yeah, so she was Anne Boleyn in Anne Boleyn.
Okay.
There you go. But yeah, it just feels a bit too specific. You hit the nail on the head there.
Yeah.
I don't believe any of these.
Do you know what? The only thing that made me think okay was because with them bringing in kind of Zeus, Hercules, Medusa's within that same mythical.
No, it's not Medusa. No, you're thinking like Greek. No.
Oh.
So Medusa in the MCU, it's all right. Medusa in the MCU is Black Bolt's wife. And she's she was in the Inhuman series with Anson Mount. She's got her hair, how do I explain it? You know Ben in the Umbrella Academy?
Yeah.
Her hair does that.
Okay.
Basically.
Right.
There you go. That was easy to explain, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. So it's not Medusa, Greek.
I'm really
Greek.
disappointed now. I wanted Medusa.
Maybe it will be. I don't know. It's probably not going to happen. I'll be honest. Do you know what? Fuck it. It is. It is. It's that Medusa. That's it.
You heard it from us first.
That's it. That superhero thing exclusive. World War Hulk. Apparently this was originally going to be a movie. It's now being turned into a 4-part series for Disney Plus that may also have a small theatrical release. Why would it? It's going to be one or the other, isn't it? Yeah. It says this could possibly be the big Avengers event before Secret Wars with many big characters. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Majority of the cast will be in attendance and they will show some footage. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantum Mania, some footage. The main cast will be there and that's it, basically.
Did they say a video from?
Video from Jonathan Majors.
Yeah.
Wonder Man will be in attendance. Wonder Man will be announced with Henry Golding as Simon Williams. I don't know who either of those people are. An interesting detail is that apparently Evan Peters is going to be returning as Ralph Boner, but may have a new name and will likely be a side character in the show. Again, it sounds a bit bonkers. And then the last one is that Daredevil, The Man Without Fear, will be announced with Charlie Cox starring along with Isa Gonzalez as Elektra, who I assume is the lady who played her in the series, who I really didn't rate.
But I hope not.
I'll be really honest. Having now read through that properly, I don't believe any of it. Do you?
I don't. I mean, some of it is just kind of.
You know
educated guesses.
You know when you tell a lie and you
Yeah.
just push it too far, like Phoebe and Friends. It's like, when should I have stopped? You should have stopped at Ralph Boner because that was it. Ralph Boner coming into it. And
Should have stopped at Medusa, to be honest.
Probably, yeah. That confused Auntie enough for us to get through. But other than that, you pushed it too far. We'll know in a week what's going on.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I'm a little bit concerned that it's not going to be anything.
Exciting.
Not. Yeah, that's probably the word to use. Exciting. Yeah. I feel like I'm going to be a little bit disappointed because it's going to be all stuff that's really obvious. I don't feel like there's going to be anything like massively shocking.
They've got to do at least one shocker, haven't they?
That we don't know. Yeah, I just feel like it's all going to be stuff that we've already know or already anticipated.
I'd love to just get one surprise at least. You know what I mean?
I would as well. Should we talk about trailers? We've got 3 trailers to talk about, as we said.
Should we start with the non-comic one first? Get that out the way.
Should we?
Yeah.
Go on then. We'll talk about it very briefly. So the trailer for the Monsters got released yesterday, someday this week. The only reason we're bringing it up is A, because it looks shit, and B, because in our very first episode, back in February 2021, it was the first bit of news that we talked about. Because we didn't have a script and Anthony just went off on one of the Monsters. It's like, it's a superhero comic
really
book. It's a superhero podcast, Anthony.
And
but that's
I'm really
fine.
devastated.
We talked about it, and now we're talking about it again. Anthony looks like he's going to cry.
I'm genuinely really gutted.
And he was gutted.
It looks like we're watching them do it back in the 50s through a colour camera. You can see that their faces have been painted. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It just looks awful.
I've hit the nail on the head. I saw it in a comment online. I wanted to save it for the podcast. It looks like a porn parody of the Monsters.
It does.
It does.
Right, and do you know why? So I've looked into it a little bit more. It's the frames per second. So they've changed it. So they've put more frames per second. Normally the standard for a movie is 24.
Yeah.
And they're using 29.5.
What?
Which is what you use for a series.
Yes.
And that's why there's always that little bit of a difference between a movie and a TV series. So they're using that.
The soap opera effect.
Yeah. And there was something else that they've done different as well. And
it shit.
Yeah.
It just looks crap.
Like, it's a prequel, so you're not getting Eddie and Marilyn in it.
Yeah.
Which is shit in itself, because it's only half the Munsters, not the Munsters.
3/5.
If you want to be pedantic. And then... I mean, if they do, I'd have happily watched it if they kept it in black and white. If they hadn't put it in colour.
It just looks crap.
I know, it's like he's tried to be authentic, but then gone too authentic and taken it back to the 50s, which doesn't work.
No, I know.
70 years on.
There's a few people online.
And the choice of Herman, I don't like it.
Yeah, it's all crap. There's a few people online who are, I think, wishfully thinking that because this is nothing like what Rob Zombie's done before, all Rob Zombie's stuff is like gore fests and like House of a Thousand Corpses and all that sort of stuff, that this is all a marketing ploy and it's going to be like a full-on gory horror film, and nobody would allow him to put a trailer together that looks that shit. It's got to be done on purpose. But the only thing is, at the end of the trailer it says it's PG, and it's like, I don't think they could get away with putting PG in a trailer that's going to be a full 18 horror film. I think if it is that, if they've done that and they've managed to do that, I think it's phenomenal marketing. Yeah. But I just think it looks crap. I think it's wishful thinking, and it's just going to be a
who should have been Herman?
Anybody else?
Brad Garrett.
Yeah. Come on, guys.
I know. Think about this a little bit more logically, people.
Give it,
Rob, you've upset me.
The £67 that you've given to Rob Zombie to make this film, give us 67 quid and we'll make it better.
I mean, they filmed on location at the original house and everything, and I just feel like...
We looked at this today, to be fair, the budget was $40 million.
Yeah.
Where's it gone?
Exactly.
Where's it gone? Should we talk about some superhero related?
Yes.
Although, to be fair, neither of them are actually superhero related, but we'll go with it anyway. Star Wars... Mandalorian Season 3 leaked. So it was at Star Wars Celebration last month. It's awful quality, but you can still see it online. It's on our Twitter. We shared it on Twitter, so go and have a look. Looks fantastic from what I can make out.
It does.
The crowd loved it the video. They clearly know things that I don't know. Not that I didn't like it, but we're not massive Star Wars canon fans, if that makes sense. We don't know all like the books and stuff. Well,
I must say I was quite shocked. Almost every shot is the Mandalorian and Grogu.
They're not all the Mandalorian. They're all Mandalorians. They're not all Mando though.
No, sorry. What I mean is, it's when it's Grogu. It's
Yeah.
Mandalorian with Grogu.
Yeah.
But he was off training the last time we saw Grogu.
No, because we got him
And
back
then
with
we
Boba
got-
Fett. I know you've tried to wipe Boba Fett from your
Shit,
memory.
yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, but he got. I know. Yeah, you've done a really good job there of wiping that, like just destroying that
I'd
pile
forgotten
of crap
that
from your head.
happened.
Yeah, you got him back, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it makes
Okay.
sense. But yeah, Mando and Grogu back together. Grogu, does that sound really weird when I said that? Grogu. Yeah, anyway. They're back together. Space battles. Mando flying around as a new Naboo fighter. That looks good.
Yeah.
We've never seen anything like that in The Mandalorian, so that's amazing. Katie Sackhoff's back as Bo-Katan, and there's other Mandalorians there as well. We see the Armourer. We see Jon Favreau's character, who I can't remember his name, but we see that. And there's a massive Star Destroyer.
There is.
Which means there's going to be loads of Empire. The rumour is that we're going to see or find out loads more info about how the destroyed Empire became the First Order. And it's going to bridge that gap, or at least sort of let us see
a little
the
bit of
birth of it,
Yeah,
the creation of it as well. And then the final shot, apparently, because we didn't know what it is, it's Mandalore.
Is it?
So
Okay.
we're going to Mandalore. We're finally going to Mandalore, which again is good because it's taken 3 seasons to get there.
Yeah.
So again, the more sort of I want to know the history of these things. I want to know.
Yeah.
I want to know more about it. I've tried to watch like Rebels and Clone Wars and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether it's animated because it's animation. I mean, I've not got a problem with animation, but I just can't really get into it. I feel like if we can start bringing that information into a live action scenario,
Yeah.
I think a lot more people will get on board with it. And then maybe they'll get more on board with the animated shows if they've got a little bit more information about it, rather than just having loads of info thrown at them through a cartoon.
Yeah.
But yeah, looks good. I'm really excited for The Mandalorian.
I can't wait.
Considering how bad Boba Fett was, I'm surprisingly excited.
But yeah, I know Boba Fett was bad, but the first 2 seasons of Mandalorian were
amazing.
awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm just going based on the first 2 series of Mandalorian.
Are we allowed to call this season 3 of The Mandalorian? Because weren't like the last 4 episodes
It's
of
kind
Boba
of
Fett
3.5 in it.
Yeah, it was. Thank God.
I know.
Because it was crap before we came in. Last trailer then. Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, coming on 2nd of September. I didn't really get what was going on in this trailer.
No.
It looked very impressive.
Yeah. Is
It
it about
looked
wood
like-
elves?
I don't know.
So is this a new group that we've not really
No, so
explored
this
before?
this is set thousands of years
Oh yeah,
before.
no, I know that.
Yeah, so you've
Well, it
got...
sounded like she said we're the wood elves or something along
Yeah,
those
so it's
lines.
Gladriel, which is Kate Blanchett's character, and Elrond.
Yeah.
They're there, which is Hugo Weaving's character.
Yeah,
So
when
I
he
think
said the name, I
they're-
knew that was important. So I just couldn't remember the
They're
names.
the two. I think they're the only characters that we know for certain are going to be in it who we know. But bearing in mind it's set thousands of years before
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings and obviously even The Hobbit, I don't think there's going to be many more. I wouldn't. Surely Gandalf's like thousands of years old, isn't
Just
he?
a glint in the milkman's eye at this point.
No, I think he's really old, isn't he, Gandalf?
I don't know.
Isn't he thousands of years old?
Wouldn't have said he was thousands. I might have said he a couple of hundred.
Okay, maybe. So maybe we won't see anybody else. It looked really impressive. It should be. Apparently, Amazon have sort of signed off on 5 series of this.
Okay.
Yeah, $1 billion they've set aside for
Jesus.
this. That's how much.
Well, I
it's
mean,
gonna
it was a big budget just on this season, wasn't it?
$250 million just for the right to make a Lord of the Rings show.
Jesus.
Yeah, just for the rights. It looks really good. Looks
Someone's
really impressive.
laughing to himself on the way to
I
the
know,
bank.
yeah. Tolkien's great grandkid is just like, money. That gif of Don Cheadle doing that with the money. That's him. Oh no, that is that one in it.
Yeah.
It looks like Game of Thrones without as much sex and knobs getting chopped off.
Yeah.
I thought. Looks impressive. I don't get what's going on with the
PG-13.
story. It does look like that. I think it's got the potential to be really good, clearly, because I think visually it's stunning.
Yeah.
I hope it's not just let's create all these really good looking set pieces and then the story's
Not
boring.
focus on the story.
Yeah, and it's not all like... I think it's got the potential to be really complicated and overly complicated.
Yeah.
But hopefully not.
Well,
But yeah.
because it's such a far back prequel, there's going to be a fair bit to establish at first. So I think everybody's got to understand that it's probably going to be a slow burner at first,
5
maybe.
series of it as well. Could be really slow to start off with.
Yeah.
We'll know soon. Comes out
Yeah.
on the 2nd September.
I mean, it looks like there's a fair bit of action in it, so...
Yeah. Yeah, it should be.
We'll see.
If there's dragons in it, aunties, all over it.
I'm
Dragons,
with it.
Egyptians, and dinosaurs, and he's sold completely. As I said, September 2nd. We haven't decided whether we're covering it on the show yet. If you want us to cover it on the show, let us know. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. Get in touch and let us know. If enough people want it, we'll cover it, and we might get sent it off Amazon as well. That'd be nice. I think that's it for us for news then, Anthony. Shall we talk about the Ms. Marvel season finale?
I am so impressed.
I am massively impressed.
Like,
I don't know whether I'm so impressed because I thought it was crap up to now. I don't know how good it actually
don't know whether
is.
But
It's
I mean,
good.
I watched it a second time, and I was hooked all the way through.
Yeah, I was the second time as well.
The second time in the series that I didn't look at my phone in an episode.
It's the first episode I've watched twice.
It's the first episode I've watched twice.
I've struggled getting through episode 1 to 5. Episode 5 was decent. Episode 2 was decent. There was still like I couldn't go back and watch them again.
No.
But this one, I was quite happy to come home and watch it for the second time. I thought it was absolutely solid. We'll go into it in detail. We won't do a full breakdown, but we'll break down all the main points of it. Let you know what we thought as well, and obviously we'll listen to your thoughts in Podfans Assemble. But in general, I thought it was really good. The pacing was much better than it has been. The whole show or the whole episode, like you text me, was just a massive payoff.
Yeah.
I think it was a very long-winded way of getting there, the series, and it wasn't particularly well done.
No.
But a lot of things that we've questioned on the show previously as to like why are they focusing so much on this?
Why
are they doing this?
Yeah.
It all made sense.
Yeah.
But I didn't find myself with some of it going, oh, yeah, amazing, that's the payoff. It was more of a, I get that. I get that now.
Yeah.
Rather than like a super excitement, it was more of a, oh, that's clever, that's why they've done that and stuff like that. And it not necessarily wasn't all clever. It was just things clicked in your head.
Yeah.
Should we go through it, little bits of it? Sort of. So obviously we got the intro, we got basically the ending of the last episode. So we got Cameron and Bruno on the train, and we obviously saw Bruno's powers, which were kind of just like a blue version of.
Do you mean Cameron's powers?
Cameron, is that not what I said?
No, you said Bruno's powers.
Bruno's powers. Bruno's powers are just dancing and being irritating, and super intelligent apparently. Cameron's powers, just blue version of Kamala's powers.
Yeah, kind of looks that way, doesn't it?
And I know we're going to skip around to a degree, I suppose. We didn't get any explanation as to what that was about. We sat there at the end of episode 5. I know I sound like I'm picking now, but we sat there at the end of episode 5 and we sat for a good 5 minutes in the episode trying to figure out why he now had powers, what they were, all that sort of stuff. There was zero explanation as to why he's now got powers.
I think we've tried to overthink it, and I think it is just as simple as she passed her power on to him to protect him.
Maybe.
Because that was the conversation that Kamala was having with her as she was stepping into it. She was like, I'd do anything to protect him.
So it falls down from like a hereditary type thing, like once the parent dies, the family powers pass on to the child. I think it's partly kind of a choice, and I think she chose to make sure that he had them to protect himself or something.
Yeah, okay. I don't know.
It makes sense, but it just didn't do anything to explain it.
It wasn't really obvious, no.
And again, from how long and how convoluted is probably not the right word, but how much time they spent on other aspects previously in the series, they could have given it a bit more time.
Yeah.
And given a bit of a better explanation.
Well, I feel like her whole storyline was to get Cameron the powers.
Yeah, the whole
purpose. I feel like
that
that was very dramatic story for the sake of that.
But even then, and again, I really enjoyed this episode. But even then, Cameron is the villain at the end of the episode, which he kind of was and kind of wasn't.
Yeah,
that just felt like we need somebody for 5 minutes for Kamala to fight against, and it's like they just felt really elaborate for that tiny little 5 minute of a villain.
So knowing what we know now,
yeah,
I don't know whether that's gonna follow up later.
What, Cameron?
Yeah.
What, still being in it? I don't think we'll ever hear from Cameron again.
Don't you?
No. I think now that she's into the Marvels and into the main MCU.
I think it's an introduction to the idea that you're going to have the mutants and Inhumans that...
Whoa! Spoilers. Get in. We did it at the start.
The mutants and Inhumans that...
Mutants?
that are kind of good and doing all that. And then I think there's the ones that fear and fight because they're scared. Yeah. And I think Cameron's going to lead the scary, feared ones.
Not Magneto.
Not Magneto.
Sack off Magneto. Disney are going with Cameron as the leader of the Brotherhood of the Mutants.
Well, he could be one of Magneto's right-hand man. Do you know what I mean? I just think
God,
that
I hope not.
he would come up again.
Okay.
And
I
maybe,
don't think
maybe
he will.
have a team.
I think, yeah, I could see it. I think if we get a Ms. Marvel season 2, 100% he'll be in it. I just don't think if we don't get a Ms. Marvel season 2, I don't think we'll ever see him in the actual MCU movies. I don't think he was good enough. I don't think he was a very good actor.
I don't think he got enough time, to be honest.
I suppose, yeah. Bearing in mind how much time was spent on other things.
Yeah, exactly.
So I suppose, keeping on that, the next sort of scene was the family finding out. Now, obviously, they already knew because the mum had told the dad and the dad had done it on speakerphone.
Which
and the
was
brother.
hilarious, by the way.
I love that.
Yeah,
but
and me.
This is what has been built up 4 or 5 episodes. The fact that she sat there, she's told her family that she's got superpowers.
Yeah.
And it was just like, they weren't bothered. They were impressed. They were asking questions. And if they hadn't spent so much time in this series focusing on family and building that family unit, you would have sat there and gone, they were a bit flippant about it, weren't they? They didn't really they weren't really arsed. And they weren't really arsed, but they've done such a good job for the whole series of showing how they wouldn't be arsed because they just love, I know it sounds really cheesy, but they just love the daughter, do you know what I mean? And they're just happy for her. And again, that was the first bit of payoff. Long-winded, but it made sense.
Going a little bit deep again on it, it kind of reminded me of like a coming out story. And that's what kind of intrigued me with it, because it was kind of like there's the fear of everybody knowing. Best one to talk about was her best mate.
Nikki,
because she was like, I thought you were going to hate it because I know you hate the superheroes and stuff like that. And she was like, but I would never hate you. Yeah. And it's that kind of thing. And like when you're coming out, you have that fear that even though people are probably going to be sound with it, there's that,
you never know,
very rational fear that someone's going to react to it badly, and it could cause a lot of distress within the family unit, within your friend groups, all of that kind of stuff. And that was a bit that I quite enjoyed on the kind of coming out as a soup. Yeah.
It was good, and as it made sense completely that they were completely okay with it and completely behind it. The only one who wasn't going to be the mum, but we had a more detailed hair learning about it in episode 5, which again made sense.
And you called it?
What, mum making the suit?
Yeah,
I know, I called that, didn't I? Yeah, but it was going to happen.
It was going to happen.
I like the suit, and we didn't see it. We didn't fully see it at that point, but the suit was really good. Yeah, I thought it was decent. I didn't really question how she'd made such a professional looking super suit.
No, I didn't.
It was like proper Stark looking stuff, but yeah, it was one of them. It just run with it.
And I liked the little nods to the culture as well. So obviously she had, and I'm not going to use the proper terms because I don't know them, so I can only apologise, but like the scarf, the actual length of the top part of it, because it kind of comes down midway down the thigh and stuff like that. Like I loved all of those little bits that just kind of make it fit with her culture. Exactly,
I like that. I also like the bit where we didn't really see her in the suit, but we saw her like running above the streets of Hair Town. It was so simple, but I just really enjoyed that.
It was simple, even but I didn't half roll my eyes when she stopped at the red light.
Yeah, I did a little bit of that.
I went, oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's for kids.
Yeah.
And then I had to remind myself.
But the finale was a 12 plus.
Was it?
Yeah, the finale was 12 plus, yeah.
Is that just because there was a bit more peril?
I don't know. Yeah, it must be, peril.
Scenes of peril.
Scenes of peril, that's it.
Viewer discretion advised.
I did think that, though. That was the only bit where I was a little bit like, it's a little bit stupid.
Yeah.
But again, it was the confidence with the powers, and we said this since episode 1. We wanted to see her get confident with the powers. And we said, again, right back to episode 1, seeing her on the big screen, having full control of these powers.
Yeah.
As much as we weren't really impressed with it at the start, you could tell it was going to be good.
Yeah.
And it was, even with it not being on the big screen anymore. Yeah. And we'll get to the final fight in a bit, but yeah, it was really good. I really liked that bit. So we got there was a little bit in the mosque when Bruno and Cameron went. I thought this was really good, and it's what they've been trying to do for the whole series. But when that woman from Orange Is the New Black came in and she started saying, you need to, it could be in it.
And they literally, well, first of all, the fact that they all had their IDs ready.
They all had their IDs ready. Before. Exactly.
And I was like, it was such a little moment, but so powerful.
The whole thing
and I
was
loved
powerful.
It. Do you know what it took me back to? Falcon and the Winter Soldier, when the police car turned up. Do you remember in the street?
Oh, yeah.
And they basically had the conversation, didn't they, there and then? And I absolutely loved it.
I think it was a bit on the nose, but that's not a bad thing.
No, not at all. Well, it's a reminder that it's an ongoing problem
Oh yeah, massively.
We're nowhere near resolving that kind of barrier between races, essentially.
Exactly.
Which is not. It's a horrible thing. But I like that even in something like this, they're saying, "Here's our stand. This is our take on it."
Yeah, but it did a good job because it didn't shy away of the actual true fact as to how other cultures are treated.
Yeah.
Again, the fact that they all had their IDs ready because they've clearly been through
and the
shit
simple thing
before.
of when she described who they were looking for, and they said that could be any one of us.
Exactly.
It was so vague.
Exactly.
And I was just like, I kind of like did like a little bit of a fist bump, and I was like, yeah.
But then at the same time, it was very good at showing that, and obviously every culture is different, but we're all the same as well. I know it sounds really deep. The cookies, the fact that they're just sitting there making cookies, and it's like anybody would sit there making cookies. And the best bit was when he had I think he said something along the lines of the shake dude. He said, I don't even care if God stands with me because I stand with God, or I stand with him. And she said, I don't need any Quranic quotes. And he said, that was Abraham Lincoln.
Yes.
And it's like,
I loved
amazing. Absolutely amazing.
I loved
it. It's just showing
how ignorant it can be. Like,
exactly.
Because that's the problem. It's ignorance.
Exactly. They know, but the whole process was they're aware that they're treated different.
Yeah.
By some people. They're not. No. They've got the same ideologies as you. They're quoting a white American president.
Yeah.
There's no need for all the separation. Yes, clearly there's different cultures and we should celebrate different cultures. Yeah. But that's what this series has been about. And it was all payoff.
Yeah, yeah. Can we also address
what?
When they start that search and they go in that cupboard and the girl's like, there is nothing in here. Yeah. And then it turns out her boyfriend's a white guy that her family would not be happy with. And I was like, that is brilliant.
It was good. It was brilliant. So we got, after they escaped, we got the first proper look at the suit, the Ms. Marvel suit. Yeah. When she came down the alley. The CG was shit.
Yeah, it wasn't
great.
It
was like a plasticine Kamala Khan coming down. It was like something out of Wallace and Gromit. It didn't look good. I expected it to pop up at the end and go, cheese!
Wensleydale.
It wasn't good. And then Gromit just rolling his eyes. Yeah, it didn't look good. It took me out a little bit, but I could forgive it. Just seeing the suit, again, it's really good, as we said. So, the school then, because this is where it all sort of kicked off.
So it was all kiddie again, wasn't it, with the school? But I liked it.
It was stupid.
Yeah.
It was silly. It had full-on Home Alone vibes.
Yeah.
The whole thing had Home Alone vibes.
But again, I was very aware that it's obviously aimed for a younger audience again.
You say that though, but I don't think it was any more silly than Thor. And that wasn't aimed at a younger audience. It had proper tones of Thor.
Yeah.
I was waiting for a goat to start screaming.
No, but it wasn't. It was different because it wasn't like ha funny.
No, I know.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But
it was just like
parts of
entertaining.
We won't spoil Thor yet.
No,
it's too soon to spoil Thor.
But I mean, the fact that they were like, we're going to throw softballs.
It was all very Nickelodeon.
And then the science,
wasn't it?
Yeah, the science room. Yeah, it was very Nickelodeon.
That Zoe showing up, who's not been in the season since episode 1.
Since she got saved at the end.
She's just randomly there now and part of the crew.
Yeah.
The brother's showing up as well, and it was stupid, but it was good. It didn't need to be super serious. The whole plan. Going through the plan on the chalkboard with the elaborate drawings on the chalkboard.
I know. I was like, I thought we got rid of these.
I know we've done this joke already.
We've done the drawing thing. I
was still okay with it. And as I said,
it's very Diary of a Wimpy Kid. That's the best way to describe it.
Yeah, but I don't feel like that part was like. I feel like that was probably more on a par with Thor. And I know it's very easy for us to sit there and go, it's because it's aimed at kids, this series. But I mean, it's a 12 plus on Disney Plus now, the last episode. But I just feel like that's the way the MCU's going. I mean, even Doctor Strange, that had moments that were very. I know it wasn't. It was borderline on a horror film.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it did have moments that were silly, like Bruce Campbell as a hot dog vendor punching himself and all that sort of stuff.
Do you think though that? It's because when was the first Iron Man out? When did it start? 2008.
Yeah.
So we're now 14 years on from that.
I just think they now know that they can do it.
I think that they've got a bit more free reign because it's obviously doing so well anyway.
Yeah.
But I also think that there is a target on that, and I think it's the fact that they're trying to bring the new people in that may not have been old enough at the time of phase 1 and 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think it's now being like, oh, this is fun and entertaining. Come and watch this.
Yeah.
So I think there's an element of that within it.
I do. I also
not
just think
necessarily it's the right choice, but I think that's the way that they're going because they want to maintain us, the ones that have been there from day one.
Yeah.
But I think they're trying to make sure that they're pushing because it's a brand new story now, essentially.
No, I know.
Because we've had the massive arc with Thanos and everything.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of a lull where they can start bringing other people in.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And I think that's part of it.
I think it's just comic booky in general, as we said, with the costumes, the silliness, the more bright and colourful side of things, even with the serious stuff. Again, like we said, Doctor Strange was bordering on a horror film. Some of the moments in there, Captain Carter getting chopped in half, Black Bolt's brain exploding, but at the same time, it was a super colourful comic book film. But I just don't think if they tried to do that in 2008, it would have got into the mainstream.
No.
It's like they've had to go. Listeners will know my opinion on overly dark and gritty movies just for the sake of it. But they had to keep it as realistic and as sort of earth-based as possible to build up the audience. And they've slowly drip-fed the idea of cosmic. They brought the Guardians of the Galaxy in and it was amazing. But I think a lot of people were like, there's a talking tree and a raccoon. Do you know what I mean? And that was the first idea of a bit of silliness. And I think they've just got to the point now where Feige's probably just thinking, to a degree, I can do what I want.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's, and I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's just taken a lot of people by surprise as to, I think they've done it quite quick. They've been slowly creeping up. And then all of a sudden they've got to the end of phase 3 and gone, right, that's it, full blown comic book now. And I'm getting more used to it, but I expect that to be the way that it goes now. I'm not expecting anything now sort of like Winter Soldier, Captain America and the Winter Soldier level of movie. I think that's gone now. Even when you look at like Moon Knight was quite an adult aimed and adult orientated TV show. I mean, it was a 16 plus, but then in episode 4 there's a talking hippo. Do you know what I mean? So it's like they can do what they want now. And I think it's taken me since the start of phase 4 to come to that realization. I feel like now that I'm all right with it, and I think the second viewing of Thor was the thing that got me all right with it. It was. I think that was it. But I've gone off on a tangent there. But I'm excited. I think this has helped me realize it as well, and I'm completely okay with the silliness, as we said in the Thor review. But that was the plan. There was the real plan though, wasn't there? So that was all a distraction. So the plan was social media. So we saw the social media here. We saw it at the end. I loved the bit at the end. Where like the shake is like, I'm a hot dog. I'm halal. I love him. He's brilliant.
Funny.
I want to spin off of him. That's brilliant. But again, the actual plan, the social media, very clever, very relevant. Again, if they are going for the younger audience, it's the TikTok generation, isn't it? I suppose at the end. And then basically it was all the big fight. So we got DODC with the weapons.
After they'd already been told to back down.
So the dude who was questioning Tom Holland, I'll get there in a minute. Peter Parker, there we go. He's like in charge. Apparently. He seemed like a bit of an idiot in no way. I mean, he still does now, to be fair. But the weapons, though. So these weapons are not like anything we've ever seen.
No.
In Marvel, really. I mean, how have we gone from? They look like the Hydra weapons in Avengers.
So what I'm thinking is this now the tech from Endgame?
No, it's not. It's all the guns will glow in purple, like the Chitauri weapons in Avengers, and DODC are the ones who came in and confiscated all the Chitauri weapons. So it'll all be.
It's just alien tech.
It's just alien tech that they've basically picked up. But when I was looking at the purple, I was like Power Stone, but no, it's probably like it's because in Spider-Man Homecoming, it's the purple Chitauri thing that like blows up the needle in Washington DC, isn't it? So it's probably that. But I'm all right with that.
I mean,
it's pushing it. It's pushing that limit again, isn't it? We're going from guns to space weapons.
We always knew that it was potentially going to come, and it was always going to be the government that were using it first. That's just kind of a standard when you watch these kind of films and stuff.
Isn't it weird though, like seeing all that type of weapons in like Guardians of the Galaxy, you wouldn't bat an eyelid, but when it's on Earth and the government are using it, it feels a bit like,
hang on.
It does. But again, it's like, but if you were playing the Spider-Man game on PlayStation 4 and all the government were running around with weapons like that, you wouldn't question it at all. It's just because it's on big screen on live action. It just takes you out of it a little bit. But again, I think it's probably all just getting us used to what's happening. So sticking with DODC, there were two big bads. There were them and Cameron, weren't there?
Yeah.
DODC is big bad for the series. Bit underwhelming. Bit just like we need somebody.
Well, I'd say it's underwhelming. Actor. I'd say it's underwhelming if it was somebody more established. But I think because it's kids, I think they've got to pull it back a bit.
Yeah, I know.
I think they can't have someone.
They couldn't have Abomination coming in and ripping people's heads off.
No, I think that would be too much. So yes, underwhelming, but in the sense that we're spoiled.
Yeah, okay, I get you.
Yeah,
no, I agree. Yeah,
and it's that thing that you've been saying all along about Earth level threat compared to cosmic level threats and stuff like that. At the minute, this has got to be teenage level threat.
Yeah, I suppose
something that they can overcome on their own without needing anybody.
No, I get what you mean. Yeah.
So.
No, okay.
So yes and no.
Yeah,
because we love someone coming in and absolutely destroying an entire city,
but it just doesn't fit.
But
with this, then the moment that we did need somebody to be a little bit more of a threat than DODC, we turned Cameron into a villain for 3 minutes.
Yeah,
which is pretty much what they did.
Yeah.
And again, we didn't get too much powers. It made sense though. Well, it did make sense. It did and it didn't. It's like 1 second he was about to kiss Kamala, and then the next second it's like, I'm gonna blow you up.
Well, I mean, I was surprised that nobody tried to like follow him
in the underground.
Yeah,
I think by that point they'd sort of had their get back, and the boss dude from No Way Home was like, leave him now. Even the cops were standing in front of him,
which I loved.
I loved that as well. Yeah,
I loved
again,
they all stood
that again was part of the build up of this series. We'd seen the culture. We'd seen the fact that when they went to the Eid festival in episode 2 or 3, they were all just one big family, even not related. They were all still one big family. Exactly. So when it came, again, a lot of the time, you've seen scenes like that in the past.
Yeah.
So many times in films and TV series. Where
you're going to go for him, you've got to get through me, and me, and me, and then suddenly you've got a massive crowd.
It always feels cheesy.
Yeah.
And this didn't.
No, it didn't.
It made sense.
Yeah, 100%.
It was like all of those people were family.
Well, it was that whole thing of,
which is cheesy in itself, but you didn't question it.
She's got powers, but you guys are shooting at a child.
Yeah, like
exactly. That is quite dark, to be fair.
Yeah.
So straight away, I was in on it, and I was like, 100%. You'd be diving in front of them to stop them.
But again, even the fact that she's not everybody's kid, and they're not actually related, it's just that sense of community, which again, long-winded way of getting there, but it's built that up over 5 episodes.
Totally.
So powers,
powers. That was funny enough. That's where I was going.
Embiggen came out of nowhere. I know we know that's a thing, but
we had already seen it, but not to that level.
Yeah, I suppose
we had, because she'd done it in the
wedding. She had the big hand in the wedding.
Yeah, but she also did it at the very beginning with the thing, didn't she? She had a bigger hand, didn't she, when she
caught the kid
at the Avenger Con?
Oh yeah, she did.
Yeah. So we knew it was coming, and
so good.
It made me laugh. The little cheesy 2 fingers peace signs where their hand's still a bit bigger. All that kind of stuff. But catching that car, and obviously it was hurtling right towards her parents, wasn't it?
Spider-Man feels.
Yeah.
I thought that. Yeah.
But the one thing that still confuses me at the moment is her strength.
Why is she super strong?
Is she?
Yeah.
Because she doesn't seem to be.
I thought she caught a car.
She caught a car at this point, but up until this point, she's not been able to do anything super strengthy.
I think she's
is it just that has its strength when it comes out?
I don't think she's got. I don't think she's.
But
super
then
strong.
she also did a jump from a 2nd-story window or something, and did the superhero pose.
She landed on one of the light things halfway down when she jumped out the window.
Did she?
Yeah. She broke her fall with the light. She broke her fall. I think so. She broke her fall with the light things. Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't think she's super strong. Maybe that'll develop, but I don't think she
Yeah.
is super strong. But I think it's when that comes out, the fact that hand is twice that, or it makes her twice as big.
Yeah.
She's got twice the strength that she would normally have.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. But yeah, it looked good. Her having full control of her powers. Just again, that's what I've been waiting for.
Yeah, it's what we've needed.
Yeah, and I suppose it needed to wait until the last moment.
Yeah.
But again, I can't wait to see that in the Marvels.
I know.
Because it's going to look better. The CG will be better, I hope.
Yeah.
But yeah, her being even more in control of it is going to be so, so good. The battling with Cameron as well, kind of. Do you know what I mean? Like when she put the cocoon over them.
Yeah.
Looked like a PS2 game a little bit. CG wasn't fantastic. But again, I still didn't take me out.
No.
I just thought it was it felt like a means to an end of wrapping up the story. Really, not necessarily making sense, but again, it was good. We'll get to the big reveal in a second, but yeah, I just thought it was good.
I also
it all paid off.
That I loved the conversation between her and her dad on the roof.
Exactly.
Well.
Cheesy,
cheesy as hell.
I was alright with it,
but he called her his little Miss Marvel.
Little Miss Marvel.
Because
hence the name.
Yeah. Kamala and all that kind of stuff. Which, it was cheesy, but I still kind of loved it because it's proper like daddy's daughter, isn't it?
Yeah,
and we've seen that all the way through.
Yeah.
Him trying to dress up as Hulk to go with her on. Do you know what I mean? And again, it's daft, but there's a lot of dads that would do that a million times over, and it's very, very common. And I loved that whole relationship between the two of them.
Yeah, I did.
And then her running off and he's like, magic.
Yeah, but just so impressed with his little girl.
Yeah.
It sounds cheesy, but he was just so impressed with her, wasn't he? So the reveal.
Yeah.
2 reveals. The first one, which I didn't see coming at all. In the slightest.
It was just so good.
It was so good. I was waiting for him. So obviously it was Bruno saying, I've tested your DNA because this kid's like a genius. Again, he was making paper mache helmets in episode 1. But he's tested the DNA and he said, there's something different about your genes. And then he said, there's something, pause. I was waiting for Inhuman.
I was waiting for Inhuman.
About it. Which, even though that's not something that people say, it would have fit with the series.
Yeah.
And then he said, there's a mutation. And then we got the...
With like an electric guitar or something.
Good.
Like it was just that little bit of a difference to what we had in the 90s.
I nearly just stood... I said this to you. God. I nearly stood up. I was like, oh my God, I need to stand up. It was amazing. Chills. Full on chills. And then we got nothing more of it. It was just, it just sounds like another Nabel.
I just loved it.
It better not go anywhere. I don't feel like they can now that they've given us the X-Men theme tune.
Yeah, they can't. Surely.
I'm just really scared it's going to be another Ralph Boner.
If they put the music in, I don't think they do
That's what I'm hoping. Because I suppose with Ralph Boner, it was kind of like a tease, but we never said it was this. You've read too far into that. Do you get what I mean?
Whereas they've laid that out on a plate this time.
That has to be.
You also wouldn't use the word mutation.
No, I know.
If you weren't talking about a mutant.
I know. I'm so excited.
I know, so am I.
Where's this going now then? Are we gonna get drip fed?
Do you reckon we'd get an end credit on the Marvels?
Could do.
Where they'd be like,
apparently it's Black Bolt and Medusa.
We've got a school. Come and spend some time with us.
Is that where this is all going, the Young Avengers?
Could be.
Is that where this is all going?
Could you imagine?
That'd be so amazing. I don't know.
But I'd want it to be somebody like, I don't want it to be Xavier or Storm or Jean Grey.
Has to be Xavier though, doesn't it?
Not necessarily. I mean, what if it was like, I don't know. I feel like it'd be a nice surprise if it wasn't the obvious. So if someone like Rogue came and took her instead, or Iceman or Cyclops, do you know what I mean? Rather than it being the ones that have been overused originally.
I know what you mean. I think you need the pivotal players like Xavier and Magneto, because if they're mutants, you want the X-Men.
Yeah,
I don't want them to do. I mean, I want them to do. I'm okay with them drip feeding it as long as it becomes very obvious that that's where we're going.
Yeah,
but I don't want a Cyclops solo film and a Wolverine solo film or a TV series. I don't want them all coming together like that, like the Avengers.
Oh God,
did.
yeah, no.
It needs to be, in my opinion, the group of the X-Men are introduced.
Yeah.
It can be completely different X-Men. I think we need Cyclops in there because Cyclops has never had a good go.
Yeah.
But I think you need Xavier for that. I
Yeah.
don't think you need Magneto.
No.
But I think you need Charles Xavier for it.
Yeah.
And
I mean, for me, I'm literally just talking about it being another hint. So just like at the end of the Marvels, they wrap up their story. And then, I mean, it could even be that Brie Larson takes her and says, there's someone I want you to meet.
Yeah.
And then they do it that way. Like, I don't know. I just think it'd be cool. And even if she just said, I've got someone I want you to meet, and it's just like a shot from the floor and you just see the wheelchair and there's not even a speech.
I'm going end scene of the Marvels. Okay, right. I'm on it with you now, right? Okay.
Yeah.
We're getting Hair taking her somewhere because she's been in space and she needs to go somewhere special, like a school or something like that. And he takes her into the office and we see Charles Xavier in the wheelchair, but from the back. Yeah. And then he turns around and it's obviously Professor X. Yeah. And it's Giancarlo Esposito from Breaking Bad.
I'm trying to remember who that is.
It's Gus from Breaking Bad.
Oh, okay.
That's who I'm going with.
Okay.
That's who I'm going with, Professor X. Are we good with that?
I'd quite like that, yeah.
Are we good with that?
That's
from Mandalorian.
Not somewhere I was expecting it to go at all, but yeah, I'd be on board with that instantly.
That's me.
Okay.
I'm going with him.
Okay.
That's my choice. People are saying Doom for him, which would also be good, but I think he's too old for Doom.
Yeah.
I'm going for him. I'm going for him.
He'd be a good Xavier.
There's rumours he's met with Kevin Feige recently.
Is there?
Yeah. But everyone's going Doom.
Okay.
But it's got to be. I've seen the odd person saying Charles Xavier, but that was my first thought.
Yeah.
Charles Xavier. But yeah, and then don't touch it. Don't touch the mutants for a couple of years.
No.
That can be it. And then we can find out what happened to Kamala and that at that point. Yeah. I don't want any other mutants. I don't want to walking down the halls and seeing some guy with glasses on and all that sort of stuff and some blue dude climbing on the ceiling. I don't want any of that. I just want a little bit of a tease. I'm okay with it being drip fed.
Yeah.
I'm good with that. Do we think, because I didn't mention it a second ago, when we going back to the conversation, we're getting deep into this. Going back to the conversation with her and her dad, in that conversation, he said we tried for years to have a second child and we didn't think we could, and then all of a sudden we got pregnant. Is that something to do with her being a mutant?
Maybe.
I went back because she's 16.
Yeah.
Kamala, and this is set in 2024, 2025. So 16 years back would take us to 2008.
Yeah.
But that was Iron Man.
Yeah.
So nothing really big happened.
Isn't that scary, by the way?
Yeah. That's terrifying. Yeah, but 2024, we're 2 years ahead.
Yeah.
But yeah. But there's no real big event. And if she blipped, that would mean that she was born 5 years before.
Yeah.
And we don't know anything that happened then.
No.
So I'm assuming that there's no link there. But we still don't understand how these mutants are going to be created. Has she always just been a... Because she's not... So the conversation I got from Bruno is, yes, she's a djinn, but she's also a mutant.
Yeah.
So she's a mutant djinn, clandestine type thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I feel maybe they did too much with it.
Maybe.
They should have not told us anything and then at the end dropped the fact that she's a mutant.
Yeah.
And had us thinking she was an Inhuman all the way through.
Yeah.
Post credits.
Okay.
We got to go post credits.
I told you, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. I didn't think that was going to be it, but yeah. So I don't really get what went on.
No, and I've got some questions about this.
Okay, let's go. So what we saw: Kamala gets back, falls on the bed.
Yeah.
Bangle lights up.
Yeah.
Stands up, starts panicking.
Okay, so
the
first of all,
weirdest effect.
Yeah. So first of all, Bangle glowing. It took me back to the beacon.
What beacon?
Shang-Chi.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So that was where my head first went. It was like that beacon that Brie Larson's looking for.
Mm. Yeah.
So I was quite like, and then it was like, it was like she turned into wisps and they all just sucked into a little black hole.
It was.
Wasn't it?
But it didn't, because as she was going into the black hole, Carol was coming out.
Yeah.
Are we 100% certain that that's Carol?
Right. So this is my thing.
Or is she transformed?
Have they teleported and swapped places?
Yeah.
Or
swap bodies?
Is Kamala in Brie Larson's body and Brie Larson is now in?
I think the fact that Carol was looking around at the room.
I keep saying Brie, sorry.
I think the fact that Carol was looking around the room and looking at the pictures, rather
that's
than
what made me
on
think.
hair,
Yeah, that's what
it's
made
Carol.
me think it's Carol.
Yeah.
But her powers went on her hand. Now it was very, very quick, but I was certain it was Kamala's powers.
Okay.
It looked crystallized rather than
Didn't
just
even notice this.
rather than just glowy.
Didn't
if that
even
makes
notice
sense. Just on her hand, and it was the purple colour. Now I know that Captain Marvel has kind of all sorts of colours coming out of her, but it just looked like Kamala's colouring, and it looked crystally. So go back and check it, because I don't know for certain. But then my other thing is, has she just transformed to look like Captain Marvel for some reason?
Is she a Skrull? Oh, you mean has Kamala turned into...
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I don't. I think it's Captain Marvel.
But something that's out of her hands.
No, I think it's Captain Marvel, because she didn't... I feel like if they were going for it's Kamala in her body, because that was my first thought, I think she'd have spent more time looking at herself and her arms and her hands rather than looking around at all the Captain Marvel gear, because Kamala would recognise it's her room.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
It was just the thing on her hand that made me question it. That was what it was.
I would imagine it's probably just something to do with the what's left over of Kamala's powers that's done the teleportation.
Maybe.
The suit, Carol's suit, she's got a new suit.
Yeah.
I like the look.
I
really like the short sleeves and the
I like her
fingerless
hairstyle
gloves.
this time around as well.
Yeah, like that.
I really like that.
She had a gold bangly type thing on her left arm.
Did she?
But it wasn't like a full wrap around. It was kind of like, to be honest, it looked like a bit of a Captain Marvel symbol. It was like a bracelet.
Yeah.
But she didn't have one on the other arm. But I'm wondering, I was going to say has the two bangles and the teleporting between the two, but then she didn't have an actual version of the bangle with her, unless that bracelet is another one of the 10 rings or another one of the bangles that the Eternals used. Yeah. I don't know.
So then the other question is, where's Kamala?
Wherever wherever Carol Danvers was.
Which is probably outside
in the middle
of
of space. Yeah, 100%.
Which means, how's she breathing?
She could be on a planet that's got air. I assume.
But do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So, from this point, if we're going straight into the
You
Marvels...
just killed off Kamala.
Sorry, yeah.
She's
Dead.
floating in space. After all that.
So, I think... So this was my thought.
Okay.
My thought was maybe they've swapped, but they've got each other's powers.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And that's why we saw the crystal.
That'd be amazing.
So because Carol's not used to having these powers compared to what she had before, she will go and find Monica.
Okay.
And that'll be how we get Captain Marvel and Monica back in the same room together, even though Monica's pissed off with her over whatever reason that we don't know yet, which will then be explained. But then she's saying, we need to find this kid that's now obviously gone missing in my place, because I'm sure they'll find out very quickly when she's leaving and Mum's there. And I think I think they'll then go to find where she was last.
Yeah.
I
think
Kamala.
that is a really good shout. Okay. Firstly, it answers the question as to how Kamala's alive. Yeah. Because she's going to be alive. Yeah. So if she's floating in space with Captain Marvel's powers, it makes sense. The other thing is that if Captain Marvel 2, wherever it was going, forget about even any of this. Yeah. Carol Danvers is unbeatable. Yeah. Apart from Wanda, she's unbeatable. Yeah. So what threat are you going to have in Captain Marvel 2 that Carol can't beat? However, if you've got Carol trying to master for the entire film Kamala's powers and Kamala trying to master Carol's powers, that makes sense. Yeah. And it makes them not beatable because we know they're not going to lose, but it makes it more of a challenge.
It's risky. Yeah.
And I could see us getting through that whole film and them only swapping powers back at the very end. For the final fight or something like that.
I think that would be amazing.
That'd be fantastic. Yeah. I think you've completely hit the nail on the head there, Anthony.
You are all welcome.
I am very impressed
if that's what happens, you are all very welcome.
And then they go and see Gus from Breaking Bad at the X-Men Mansion. Yeah, I like that.
Because Carol will go, shit, them our powers were hard to handle. You'll need some teaching.
Yeah. I think that'd be amazing. I need to go back and watch that now to see if the
I don't know for certain, but I'm sure that's what I saw.
Screw it. Right. We'll pause on the podcast. We're back in a minute. So it's not like full on crystals. It's kind of like an energy running around her fingers, but it looks more blue.
Yeah,
than anything.
it looks
If it's
more
gonna
Ms.
be,
Marvel than
if
Captain
it's gonna
Marvel.
be Carol's powers or Kamala's powers,
Yeah.
it 100% looks like Kamala's powers.
Doesn't it?
Oh, I'd be so impressed if that's it. I'd be
So
so
would I.
impressed, Anthony. That is maybe the way it's gonna go. Should we wrap up the episode then and the series?
Yes.
So, yeah, it's not been the best series.
It was a difficult start.
It was an effort.
It was.
Yeah, we got there.
Yeah.
I completely now understand why, well, not why it was such an effort, but why they made the creative decisions that they made.
Yeah.
Things
Whether
that
we
we've complained-
necessarily agree with them or not.
Yeah,
Because some
I
of
don't
them they
think-
did run around
yeah,
the whole garden before they actually got to the
massively.
point.
I don't think our opinions previously are wrong.
No.
I think they could have done it. I think some of the things that they've skimmed over
Yeah.
could have been better explored. And some of the things that they'd spent so much time on, they probably
Yeah.
didn't need to spend as much time on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think it was a perfect series. I think if you look at it as an average of the level of goodness,
Yeah.
if that makes sense, the finale's dragged it right up.
Oh,
in
100%.
my opinion.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
episode 5 as well, because that was really good. It's not the best Disney Plus series. I don't think I'd say it was the worst either, though, to be honest. I think I prefer it over Moon Knight.
Over Moon Knight?
Yeah, I think Moon Knight went really downhill. Whereas
I prefer it over What If, but
I definitely prefer it over What If.
But I'd prefer Moon Knight over
I
this.
think they're opposite ends. I think Moon Knight started for me really, really strong and then went downhill towards the end. And this one started off garbage, in my opinion. And not garbage, but it started off really a big effort,
Yeah.
and then got better. The finale of this, 100% in my opinion, is better than the finale of Moon Knight.
Oh,
I
yeah,
didn't rate that finale of Moon Knight
Yeah.
at all. I thought it just went downhill.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Whereas the opening of Moon Knight was fantastic. It was the best opening of a Marvel series.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I think it just couldn't live up to it. Whereas I suppose this is the good thing about it starting off not particularly good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoyed it. I kind of want a season 2 now,
So,
which we kind of getting in the Marvels.
yeah. So we've also mentioned, like in the last couple of episodes now, that we don't know where these things are going.
Yeah, we still don't.
No, I've actually read something.
You did. You sent it me, but go on.
Yeah. So basically, we're now trying to catch up with the timeline.
Yeah.
Because we're in 2022.
Yeah.
And the end events of Endgame are 2024.
23, and this is into 2024. Sorry, I'm being pedantic. Go on. Yeah.
Okay. So anyway,
Sorry.
it's okay. So there's been an interview with Kevin Feige, and he's basically talked about it properly.
Yeah.
And what they've said is this phase has kind of been about where everyone is up to the point of 2024, so that they can then be in time with the timeline.
Okay.
So it's not necessarily the new beginnings, it's
Catch up.
It's how everyone's picking up the pieces.
Yeah.
Because it was a huge event.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, what they didn't want to do was sweep it all under the rug and be like, well, now we're on to the next thing.
I get that.
So it's the repercussions and the consequences of what's happened already.
It's the boring bit, though, isn't it? Let's be honest.
It is the boring bit to a degree.
Yeah.
I mean, out of everything that I've watched so far, there's only been a small number of stuff where I've gone, oh, this is a bit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? As a majority, I've enjoyed everything that I've watched.
Yeah.
So this is where he's going with it. Also, he says that this is kind of the picking up the pieces. We're catching up maybe one last time with some of the people, and then maybe for some others it's not. So that by the time we hit 2024, we're then going to be up to date with everything else. Yeah. And then it's going to be, okay, we're on to essentially the next phase.
I get it now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're literally just catching up to the time as they are. Okay. Yeah. It's a long-winded way of getting there, though.
It is a long-winded way.
We didn't need What If.
But that's also why we've not had necessarily specific timelines on this. Yeah. But we know it's all pretty much immediately after, because he's setting them as early as possible so that we're caught up.
So that when we
by
get
the
to
time everything's come out,
we're on 2024.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm all right with that.
Okay.
I'm all right with that. Just hurry up.
And that's the thing. It's that's been our question all this time. Where's it going? Why are we making these choices? And it makes sense.
But yeah, good. I enjoyed it. Solid
It
series.
was a solid
because of that.
episode, and it was a good payoff for what we'd been watching.
It was, definitely. And hopefully the end of phase 4 is also going to be a good payoff as well. But again, we will know. I'm so hoping we know for certain things next week.
At least vaguely.
Exactly. We know the roadmap of where it's going. Should we see, because I can tell this is already going to be very mixed, should we see what the listeners think? Should we pod fans assemble?
Pod fans assemble.
Okay, so as usual, we did our poll time. So we said, let us know in the poll and drop us a comment. 66% loved it.
Okay.
23% said it was okay.
Okay.
And we still got 11% of hate.
That surprised me. That's one of the highest levels of hate we've had for Ms. Marvel.
That is.
I mean, we've not really got it because I've been in the mixed feelings camp for most of it. But yeah, that surprises me because I think this was the best episode by a mile.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Davey AK said, I sat down to watch the entire season on my day off and I was absolutely blown away. As MCU series go, for me, it's second only to Loki. The writing, acting, cinematography, and entire aesthetic were amazing. I can't wait to see where they take Ms. Marvel next.
Maybe watching this in one big binge would have been better.
Yeah.
Because I felt myself getting to the end of each episode each week and being like, I've got a week now and nothing's happened.
Yeah.
So maybe doing it as one binge. I've not got the energy to do it.
No.
At all. But yeah, I can kind of get that. That's a big shout though, putting it second to Loki.
Yeah.
I mean, WandaVision?
Yeah, I loved WandaVision.
Yeah, I did. I apparently people don't like Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I really enjoyed Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
I really enjoyed Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
The only one I haven't really enjoyed has been What If.
Yeah.
And Moon Knight a little bit.
No, I loved Moon Knight.
Didn't really like it.
Didn't you?
Solid start, as I said. Just went downhill for me a little bit.
No, I loved it. I
but
loved the whole
onwards
thing.
and upwards.
Marek said, worst show from Marvel. I can see it.
I can
see it.
I get it. I get why people would think it was the worst show for Marvel.
Yeah.
Don't necessarily agree now, but yeah.
Again, it's just a totally new tone.
I don't get how it's worse than What If, actually.
No.
I really didn't enjoy What If.
I really did. There was probably 2 episodes I enjoyed.
Yeah.
In the whole thing.
We can't remember which ones they are, but we've done reviews of them all, so go back and listen to them.
It was... I went to say Starlight then. When...
T'Challa Star-Lord?
Yeah.
You didn't enjoy that one?
No, that's...
Oh, that's the ones you didn't enjoy.
You said you can't even remember the names. That one and the zombie one. They're the 2 that I really enjoyed.
Yeah, I enjoyed those 2, yeah.
So Ragnarok said, I thought the finale was pretty great. It closed a lot of storylines and left a couple open enough for a season 2. They also gave us a glimpse of Kamala using her real powers and a Green Lantern reference as a fun wink.
Did they?
10. I didn't get on
We got a
that.
Green Lantern reference.
I missed that.
Well, let us know. Let us know. Is it Ragnarok?
Yes.
Ragnarok, send us a tweet. As soon as you listen to this, send us a tweet. Tell us what the Green Lantern reference was, please.
You then finish with just slightly rushed like every D+ finale.
Yes. Yeah, but I think it needed to be fast because the rest of it's been slow.
Yeah. Geeky Nate said, I really loved it. I'm pretty certain the women after Ms. Marvel was not Damage Control, but another group, maybe Skrulls.
Yeah, I could see that. I thought we were going to find out there were Skrulls at the end of the series,
yeah, I
to be
could
honest.
see that. The reveal at the end with that one guitar note was perfect too, and I finally loved the post-credit scene.
What if she, because she's a decent actress.
Yeah.
What if she is somebody we know? What if she is part of the X-Men or something and she's trying to get the kids with powers to recruit them? Or is that too far along the lines of Madam Hydra?
I think it's too far along Madam Hydra.
Okay.
And I think it's too dark.
Okay.
Because she's aiming guns at them.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
So for me, it'd just be a little bit
It's a way of
too...
testing the powers though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like Homelander throwing Ryan off the roof.
Yeah, totally. Keeper of the Sacred Flame said, I want to know how the DODC got this advanced equipment out of nowhere. All the government officials we've seen usually stuck with normal weapons. Oh, no.
They've got the Chitauri weapons.
Yeah.
They confiscated them at the beginning of Homecoming. Yeah, that's it. There we go. Took us a bit as well. We got there. But yeah, that's why I think they've got them.
Yeah. Station Company said Ms. Marvel would already have stretchy abilities by now if she was a mutant. Kamala will transform if she comes into contact with Terrigen. They're simply baiting with the X-Men snippet.
I hope not. But I completely get your logic.
Yeah.
I completely get that. But yeah. Because it does seem, I suppose, a mutation that's only woken up when she's got the bangle.
Yeah.
doesn't entirely make sense. But then I suppose it wouldn't if she was Inhuman as well. But again, with the Inhumans, they go into the cocoon, don't they? And then they come out with the powers.
Yeah.
So if they are baiting us, I think I'm done. I'll say that now. Right? I mean, I'll still do the podcast clearly, but I think my amount of, I don't know what the word is, keenness and interest will have gone. Because if nothing comes, not that I know obviously we're going to get mutants in the MCU, but if this isn't the introduction to the mutants, I'll be really, really pissed off now.
Yeah.
Because they did it with Ralph Boner, as I said, and this will just be a massive cop-out.
Yeah. Well, he also went on to say Inhumans also have a genetic mutation.
Oh,
now,
okay.
mutant could just be another label like Jin was until she finally cocoons.
But the theme tune, can't.
Yeah, I can't see it going down a different route.
If Feige does that to me,
if
I'm
you
writing
played
a strongly
that music,
worded letter.
More than a strong worded letter, I'll be getting on the next flight. I will turn up and I'll be like,
Mr. Disney Plus.
I am a white woman living in England. Ronan said it was okay. I liked it. A good finale, but in my opinion, the weakest on all of the Marvel shows. But this does not mean it wasn't good. It just could have been better.
Fair play.
Sheldon Pink said, I fucking knew it. I kind of called that credit scene a few weeks ago, or at least put it out there as a theory. Good finish to the series. I think the DODC was the right angle for a fledgling hero, like I said,
fair play.
and pulled a little from the comic book Outlawed event.
Okay.
Can't wait for the Marvels.
Not seen it, but I'll go and check that. Outlawed. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Peacemaker said, amazing, just amazing. Though the show did take a dip, it more than made up for it in this stellar finale. Shame that we'll be getting a different suit for the Marvels, but anyway, solid 7 out of 10 for the entire series and probably the third best MCU Phase 4 project.
We're getting a different suit for the Marvels?
I don't know.
Okay, we'll find out.
Yeah.
I think she had a slightly different suit in that short on the boat.
Oh, okay.
I think she does. But it wasn't very good quality, so I couldn't be sure 100%. I'm not going back and watching it now.
Okay.
We've already stopped to watch something else.
Steve Future said the ending was crazy in all caps.
Crazy.
It was crazy. Clifford McCall said, well, that's the finale sorted and you guys didn't think a certain someone wouldn't show up. I did.
He did.
I said it was going to happen.
Do you know who I thought
and
it was?
And you tried to convince me out of it, which is why I said Monica. Do you know why?
Because I was convinced it was another cameo. So we've been talking about this for weeks.
Yeah.
Okay, so I thought, and the rumour was it was going to be Haley Steinfeld.
Oh, okay.
As Kate, because in episode...
She has been rumoured to be on another MCU project.
She has, but... In episode 1, in the credits, the end credits of episode 1, somebody in there, Chris Malone.
Yeah.
And Chris Malone is a makeup artist for Marvel. And it says in the credits, Chris Malone, makeup artist to Ms. Steinfeld. That's what it says in the end credits to episode 1 of Ms. Marvel. So I can only assume either they've pulled it, because everybody got onto it, or they've just copied and pasted he was makeup artist for somebody else in this show and they've copied and pasted it from the credits from Hawkeye or something.
Right.
But that's why I didn't think we'd get Carol.
Okay.
Because by this point we'd still not had Kate.
Yeah.
So I thought if we're gonna get a cameo, we're not gonna get a Kate cameo and a Carol cameo in the end. And I thought it'd probably be something along the lines of her drawing Kamala into this young Avengers team or something like that.
Yeah.
But that's what threw me off completely.
Right,
if that was intentional by Marvel, well done.
He also said, my daughter totally freaked out when she did. Oh, sorry. When a certain someone wouldn't show up, lol. My daughter totally freaked out when she did.
Oh, okay.
For me, it was a certain tune that we all loved that freaked me out.
Yes,
totally.
me too.
But I enjoyed this episode and we really are looking forward to the Marvels. It's actually got me really excited for the Marvels now.
Do you know what, though?
Especially if it's my storyline, because I'll be chuffed to bits.
As well. They're so clever, Disney.
They are.
Just that tiny little theme tune of the X-Men.
Yeah.
I mean, all they needed to say was mutation and everyone would have been buzzing, and they just put that little theme tune in and everybody...
You know the Ken Feige's just sat there with his fingertips together going...
So good. So clever.
Love it. John Camelot said, I feel like this should have been a movie with her versus Damage Control in discovering her powers. Santa visits him for the wedding and DC attacking instead. Probably should have swapped with Eternals and given time to explore their characters in a show instead. Still was a decent overall.
I 1,000,000% agree.
I actually really agree with that.
Yeah, this didn't need to be this long.
No.
This could have been a 2.5-hour movie.
But Eternals should have been this long.
Eternals
so
should have
that
been
you
an
could have
8-hour
established.
series.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%.
Kenneth said 10 out of 10. All the series stuff adds up and things that were offhanded became vital. There is a mid-credit scene. Don't miss it. It's wild. Loved it. Iman Vellani is such an incredible actor. Can't wait to see her in the Marvels.
Me either.
Movies for real. I think the Ms. Marvel series started off great up till episode 3. Then when they left Jersey City, I kind of wasn't into it. But they luckily came back in the finale, and I have to say it was a fun episode and was better than the last 2. So would give it a strong 7 out of 10.
I agree with the 7 out of 10. I agree with the finale. I think each to their own. I think you're backwards with, in my opinion. I think it started off really crap and it got good when she left Jersey City.
Yeah, totally. Rachel Miller, loved it. Loved its warmth, colour, own style. It was just a whole little ball of fun. For me anyway, it gave such a big insight into a different culture, but in a way I don't think I've seen before. Same,
exactly.
Totally agree.
Loved it.
All these Marvel series just make me smile. Great how they've all been so different. I do like that aspect.
I agree. Yeah.
I like that they're all trying all... I mean...
You don't want a load of Morbiuses.
Doing it in a series to see how it does before expanding into the MCU movie scene.
It can't bomb, can it?
No.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a testing ground.
Yeah.
If Disney
if it doesn't
and Marvel,
work, they just don't do another series.
They can't afford to have a box office bomb.
No.
Whereas no one can watch it on Disney Plus and everyone can hate it, and it doesn't really matter that much because no one's going to cancel the subscription because they didn't like Ms. Marvel.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll get some idiot who will, but people with a brain aren't going to do it.
Yeah.
So it's a good testing ground.
Exactly. Loved it. Oh, We Needed Road said, loved it. The scene where she gets her name was top tier Marvel. That music cue and the post-credit sting, all excellent. Now I want Kamala to meet Peter Parker.
Yes, so do I. I could have seen that being the end credits
Ms. Marvel
as well.
and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Would have been a cool little duo.
Would have been brilliant, yeah.
I mean, Hello commented then, bearing in mind I knew nothing about Ms. Marvel before this, I found this series among Marvel TV's best. Liked these characters, enjoyed this world, and loved peering so enjoyably into a culture beyond mine. It was, again, an uneven Marvel series, but still narratively more focused than other efforts. Yet the finale didn't wow me, and given the post-credit scene, I struggled to see how this solidly average teeny bopper tale scales up to a gripping MCU billion-dollar blockbuster, but I'll still tune in to find out.
You know now, we've told you. We've
got a writer in the room.
We've figured it out. We figured it out.
Avid Gamer said needed 2 more episodes to avoid the rush transitions with Cameron and his mother, but all that being said, holy shit, mutants, X-Men theme, and big and Captain Marvel. Especially like Cameron exiting the school like Magneto to face off with damage control. It was very Magneto-esque.
Yeah, it was good.
Series gets a good 7.5 out of 10.
Amazing. I like
that. Damien Hall said 7.5 out of 10, so we're getting quite...
Yeah. We're getting lots of ratings out of 10 this week.
Yeah.
Never had that before.
Achieved what it wanted to, and looking forward to seeing more of Iman. However, action scenes just felt a little off. Can't explain why, though. Overall fun series.
Yeah, I kind of get that.
Yeah. Albert Trosville said 2 out of 10. 2 is for the cameo and the X-Men theme.
Fair play. You've got to give the X-Men theme a 4. Come on.
Well... This person's not held back. The story is so dog shit and writing is unbelievably bad, and I don't know who the fuck cast that Cameron kid because he doesn't know the first thing about acting.
I don't think that was the best way of putting it. However, I kind of agree with a lot of it.
Yeah.
The writing hasn't been great.
Again, I just don't think Cameron was given the actor was given enough.
I just don't think he was I don't think he was a good character. I don't think he was a good actor either. I really don't. I don't rate him. I didn't rate him at all. I thought he was the weakest part of the series by a mile.
Okay.
And maybe it is because he wasn't given enough, but I just don't really think he was a good actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair. Gamers Pub, 8.5 out of 10.
Sound.
Charles Xavier, 2 out of 10. I mean, they mentioned you.
They didn't. He sang his song. I like to think Charles Xavier.
You know what I mean.
Going. That's my tune.
Or he just goes past them doing it in the
Or
head.
he goes up to people and shakes hands and goes, "I'm Charles Xavier."
Austin said 6 out of 10. I give props to the people who created the show. You can tell a lot of care and love went into it.
You can.
I wish the serious moments, especially the final battle, were taken a little more seriously. Also wish it had at least one more episode.
I get that it needed more time. I just don't think it needed more time. I just think it needed to condense the time it had. No, condense the story to fit better into the time it had. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Now, this person commented, but their name is... It looks like a planet.
Okay. Captain Planet.
Amazing show. With a little love heart.
Okay.
Episode 5 made me cry because of how real they made it feel.
Okay. As the no name? Is the name like at Twitter?
At you, Morris.
Okay. Thanks, Captain Planet.
Not Jason Todd. It was okay. Not bad.
I like the way you did the pause.
Okay.
Is that it? It was okay.
I've got a drama degree. Thank you very much.
Don't I know? Fuck off. It's like when Charles Xavier sings a song and he goes, Andy Holden, I've got a drama degree.
Oh, I hate you. What I have to say is that the series got a bit better after each episode. So yeah, it's better than Falcon and the Winter Soldier. No,
it's not.
Listen,
go.
Whoever you are, but definitely not Jason Todd.
Listen, Jason Todd. I think it's a ploy. I think his real name is Jason Todd. Listen, Todd Jason.
Very clever.
It's not.
Canadian said, slay out of 10. Love it.
Amazing. I assume that's a positive.
I believe so.
Okay, cool.
In the gay world it is. So
okay,
that's how
great.
I'm taking it.
That's fine.
Pbot11 said, I actually really enjoyed the show. People may call me crazy for not enjoying Moon Knight, but in my opinion, this has been one of the greatest stories in Phase 4.
I don't think you're crazy.
Even though the powers may not be comic accurate, I've grown to enjoy them. 8 out of 10 for me.
Didn't faze me at all, the fact that they weren't comic accurate.
No, and I get why they've changed it, because it's too much like Mr. Fantastic.
Exactly. And he's on his way.
Yeah.
We're getting him soon. We don't know who it is, but we're getting him soon.
Exactly.
Ben Schwartz.
Omar Al-Kush said
Nick
8
Cage.
out of 10.
No! Nick Cage is Mr. Fantastic. He's so good. What? Sorry, I missed that comment. Sorry, do it again.
Omar Al-Kush said 8 out of 10.
Cracking. Thank you, Omar.
And then finally, Morby Tom said 6 out of 10. Writing is one of the best from MCU shows, but it's not executed well. Yeah. Everything felt like it could be done better. Although I enjoyed the last episode, and the post-credits scene made me hyped for the next one.
Amazing.
And that's it. That's
very
everyone.
Mixed response. Some people are saying the writing was good. Some people are saying it was dog shit, apparently. But yeah, again, if we all like the same things, it'd be boring.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Before we do the wrap up, let's do the patron shout outs. So thanks to Geekinate, Kenneth, Night Spearhead, Richard, Jessica, Avid Gamer, and Anthony Wells for supporting the show and being patrons. Patrons get exclusive access to our bonus podcast Into the Podverse with new episodes every month. This month, we did, I say this every week, we did I can't remember them though, Star Wars ranking. We did Stranger Things Season 4 Volume 1. There we go, spot on. This month that we're in now, July, we're going to get Umbrella Academy Season 3.
Yeah.
We're doing that. And Stranger Things Season 4
Volume
2. They will be coming before the end of this month.
Do you know what it's just reminded me of? The end. Do you remember like Live and Kicking when they read out the P.O. box?
Yeah.
6LA.
I didn't remember the 6LA, but yeah, okay.
It just totally popped into my head.
Anyway,
goodbye.
Patrons also get access to our Discord server where you can chat with us. You can chat with the patrons. We've got patrons listening to the show as we speak because you get to listen to the live recordings now that we're not doing the boys. And you also get merch discounts. You get all that for £4 per month. If you would like to access all the extra content and support the show, because we can't do it all without you, then you can head over to thatsuperherothing.com/Patreon, or now you can hit the link in the episode description. It says support the show at the bottom of the description. Hit that, go over to the Patreon. Otherwise, we'll do the wrap up. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to come back in 2 weeks.
Yes.
We're not here next week for the start of our She-Hulk countdown.
Yeah.
I'm excited, but I'm not excited because I don't want to watch the 1977 Incredible Hulk. But I'm quite excited to do an event. If you don't already, please make sure to check out our socials at Twitter, where we are almost at 1,000 followers on Twitter. We're like 10 off 1,000. Yeah, I'm so impressed. But yeah, we're nearly there. So close. We've also got Facebook. We've got Instagram as well. You get all the latest updates on the show, and you will also get calls to action for not next week's Podfans Assemble, but the one after that, please go and watch the 1977 Incredible Hulk.
Yes.
So you can tell us what you think of it. Or just anything about the news, theories about Phase 4, whatever you want. As we said at the start of the show, if you have enjoyed the show and you enjoy the podcast, please make sure to subscribe or follow on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you listen to podcasts, and leave us a rating and a review if you can. It helps us out massively. The more subscribers we get and the more interaction we get with reviews and stuff like that, the higher we go up the charts and the more people will find the episode.
Yep.
Other than that though, that is us. It's a longer episode than I thought it was going to be this week, but I'm going to now go and watch X-Men 1997
Amazing.
on Disney Plus. I'm just going to sit there and just keep rewinding the intro, going all the way through. But yeah, that's us, guys. We will see you in 2 weeks.
Yes. Cheers
Cheers,
guys.
guys. Bye.
Bye.